Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you guys here. Today is Monday, February 17th, 2020. And listen, welcome to the show. Listen, let's get started. Let's open up the charts right here. Now, the first thing I want to show you guys is I've got it highlighted in blue here. It says, now this is talking about Chinese currency. It says the currency deposited at banks must be disinfected with ultraviolet light, then held for a week or longer before being released back into the wilds of the economy. The Chinese central bank will provide new bills worth 600 billion yuan to banks, and some of the currency will even be destroyed. Okay, for years I've always thought to myself, like, what if somebody's got a head cold, or got the flu or a head cold or whatever on the other side of that envelope that you receive in your mailbox? And what if they've licked the postage stamp and they've licked the thing they close the envelope, they've licked it all and everything, and coughed on it and sneezed on it, and then it goes into the mail system and goes, wherever, and then it arrives at your door like a day later, and you open up your mailbox. I've always thought you could catch a head cold that way, or catch the flu that way. And what do the Chinese know that they're not telling us? Well, it says that they are going to disinfect all of their bills with ultraviolet light, and then they're going to hold them for a week or longer even. So the Chinese, you want to pay attention to this, and you want to think about this. Think about it. Think about your life. Think about what's going on, Give it some thought. And I wanted to bring this to you guys' attention because I'm going to tell you about life in general. Life has an awful lot of pitfalls, Things can, I absolutely hate flukes. You know what a fluke is? Like if something happens, like say your a hubcap flies off of a car. That's a fluke, And say you're walking down the side of the road, someplace, and a hubcap flies off of the car and hits you in the hip and gives you a big bruise or something. That was a fluke. It's something that doesn't ordinarily happen. It's something out of place. I've always hated flukes because they can catch you off guard, And this is something that could catch people off guard, They never suspect when they walk out to the mailbox in the morning. They never expect that mailbox might have something more than just an envelope in there. Anyway, let's move on. Let's take a look at the gold price today. Now, the market's closed today because it's one of these little tiny holidays that sneak up on me on Mondays. There's about a dozen of them out there, and they sneak up on me out of nowhere, and I never seen it coming, and I'll get my show halfway over, and I say, oh, it's one of these darn Monday holidays again, So today is one of those Monday holidays. Here in Canada, it's a brand new holiday. I think they call it Heritage Day or something, or Family Day or something. Oh my goodness, they just keep adding more and more of these holidays all the time. It's because they get a day off. And in the end, it'll be every Monday of the whole year. In the end, every Monday off. Anyway, $15.80 for gold. It's down $2.90. Let's take a look at silver today. And silver's up 5 cents. So silver's moving up a little bit, and gold is moving down a little bit, which is a little bit unusual. 1777 we're looking at for silver. Let's take a look at the Dow today, and it's where it stopped on Friday, down 25 points at 29,398. Now, I'm going to tell you guys what. Mark the position of that Dow in your mind, because very soon in our future, we've got this giant black swan event that's going to cut off supply chains. People aren't going to be able to get their parts they need to run their company or whatever. Even things as simple as like a guy that's got a big agricultural farm or whatever might not be able to get the parts for his tractor or whatever, People don't think about things like that, and that can affect food all the way down to food production and everything. And this is very, very serious. And so we're going to see reactions in the markets. And these reactions are coming very soon. They're going to be very big reactions, and they're very unpredictable. And I mean, what I mean by unpredictable is I'm good at predicting these markets. But when an event like this comes along, it's going to create very strange volatility that is unpredictable behavior within the markets, but massive moves within the markets as markets really get shaken and rattled. That's what's going to happen. In other words, an earthquake is coming along for the world's global markets, all the markets. And we're going to see movements that are unpredictable during this time. And this is going to be big, really big. And this is what I'm predicting is coming very, very soon. Let's take a look now at oil. Oil is up 66 cents, 1.28% at 52.08 today. Now we're going to take a look at cryptocurrency. You know, cryptocurrency's had a big movement up. It's went up a lot, cryptocurrency. And now it's fallen off a little bit. But it's only fallen off because except for the Dow Jones, nothing goes up in a straight line. You know? And so we're looking at a market cap of $273.4 billion with a Bitcoin dominance of 63.4%. And Bitcoin today is $95.11. That's the price for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at U.S. Treasuries. You know, we're seeing falling yields today all the way out to the 30-year. People and governments are buying into the central banks are buying into Treasury. I'm not sure. Right now, there's only supposed to be buying the short end of the yield curve. But I'm not so sure that I can tell you one thing for sure. That when the market volatility comes over the next few weeks, they're going to go back to real quantitative easing and buy all the way out. They're going to control the entire yield curve. They're going to have to, and it's going to take voluminous amounts of money. You know, I was just thinking about something in my mind, just flashed through my mind. Like there's 42 million, 42 million people on Medicare in the United States. You know, and if a medical emergency of extensive proportions were to come to our shores, what kind of bill would Medicare have? 42 million people over 65 on Medicare in the United States. Now, these people are over 65. What kind of bill would that look like? What would that look like? 30 trillion, 50 trillion, maybe $100 trillion bill? Trillion. No, I'm not saying billion. I'm saying trillion with a T. Add that to your national budget. Okay, now let's take a look. U.S. dollar index, 99.14 on the U.S. dollar index. So the dollar's staying high, but it's being compared against a hunk of steam and poo. You know, the euro. And so if that's what you're being compared against, you know, you can win the beauty contest if you're being compared against. It all depends on what you're being compared against. What do they got to pick from, you know? What's the second choice? Well, the euro. That's most of the U.S. dollar index is the euro. Now, thank you guys for listening to this show. Like and subscribe. We're in for some very hard economic times coming up very, very soon. Very, very hard period in human history. And it's caused by our own ambition. You know, I think an awful lot of it. It's caused by testosterone. Too much testosterone. Testosterone's a hormone that men have, and men basically rule the world for the most part, you know. I mean, okay, there are a few women leaders and stuff, you know, but men through history have mostly ruled the world, and they got this hormone that's basically it's a berserker hormone, you know, and I mean, really, when you think about it, it's not a good situation. Really, it's not a good situation. Thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe. We'll catch you guys in the next show. Remember the thumbs up. Bye-bye, guys.